hear me well and you can see everything. I hope I'm doing this all correctly on Facebook. Welcome. My name is Angela Searcy, and I am just a little bit about me is that I began as a teacher in 1990. I'm so happy that you're here for our story time. I'm the owner and founder of Simple Solutions Educational Services. I have a BA in English and Secondary Education, a Master of Science in Child Development, and a doctorate in education. I'm the author of Push Past It, a positive approach to challenging behaviors in the classroom. And most importantly, I'm a mom. Me and my husband have 4 children aged 24 to 14. And hi, kids. I hope you guys are all sitting around and maybe getting ready for story time. First, I'm going to talk to your family and let you know that we're actually going to start with some ideas and strategies for reading stories. Then after we do that, I'm going to read 2 stories to you. And then we're going to finish up with more ideas for being able to have good reading strategies, comprehension strategies for all ages. So I hope you enjoy this time. And we're actually looking at doing it again next week, maybe in English and Spanish, again at 11 o'clock in the morning, Central Standard Time. So before I get to reading, okay, kids, just give me a minute to talk to your family. They may actually have some questions about how do I get a child to read that doesn't want to? Well, first, find content that they love. So even if it's reading directions or how to put together something or a recipe, if they love to eat, is a great way to incorporate reading. Remember the 5 P's when it comes to reading. So the first P is physical. Yes, let's get physical. I'll be asking your children to move, to dance, to roar. So keep in mind that you don't need to sit still to read a book. And young children actually need lots of movement and engagement. So keep in mind, you do not have to sit to read a story. The next P is pause. So make sure that when you're reading a story, you pause for questions and comments and to get some engagement. So pausing is key. The next P is actually predictions. So we're going to actually, when I start my story, I'm going to start with asking kids predictions about what they think the story is going to be about or how the story is going to end. Then I'm going to also point out vocabulary words. So pointing out keywords that may be unfamiliar to children. And lastly, personalize. I'm going to ask if you were that character, what would you do? So you also want to personalize any stories that you read to children. Okay, I think that's enough for the adult piece. We'll come back, take a break in a minute after we read. We're going to do 2 stories. So I'll start with this one. Then we'll kind of talk about some more reading strategies with family. And then we'll read another story. And then I'm going to end my session with you just kind of typing in any kind of questions. I guess I have to figure out where the chat is and maybe how I can look at comments. But once I figure that out, then, maybe you could just type in questions that you have for me during our time together. Okay, we are going to start with our first story. Come on, kids, sit around. Welcome, friends. So our first story is Giraffes Can't Dance. What do you see on the cover? I know, it's a giraffe. What do you notice about the giraffe? What do you think the story is going to be about? Oh, those are good ideas. Let's open up and let's see. All right. Gerald was a tall giraffe. I think I'm going to need my glasses, friends. Whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. What are your legs like? Okay, everybody stretch out your legs. Let's see them. Good job, friends. All right. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees. What are you good at? Oh, okay. All right, that's good. But when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Whoa, are you buckling? Now, every year in Africa, they hold a jungle dance where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. Huh, so is that a new word, prance? What does prance mean? You're right, prancing is a way of moving. Okay, everybody prance. Oh, you guys are good at prancing. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. Oh man, are you good at dancing? Oh, I see you. Okay, all right. The warhawk started waltzing and the rhinos rock and rolled. Okay, come on, everybody. Rock and roll. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. Mm. The chimps all did a cha-cha with a very Latin feel. Okay, everybody, cha-cha. And 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Oh, Scottish. What's that? Oh, wow. So that's a name. So these are all names of places and types of people. And so someone could be from Scotland and someone could be from, where are you from? Are you from the United States? Are you from Scotland? Are you from Africa? Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked towards the floor. Oh my gosh. What do you think's going to happen? What do you think he's going to do? But then the lions saw him coming, and they soon began to roar. All right, everyone, do your 1, 2, come on, do your loudest roar. 1, 2, 3. Come on, you ready? Roar. Okay, that even moved the computer. You moved my computer. Good job. They took a look at clumsy Gerald. The animals all sneered. What is that word? Sneered? Okay, that was a sneer. Everyone practice doing their sneer. Oh, that's a good one. Kind of like get your lip. Yeah, that's a good sneer. Perfect. Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you are so weird. Oh, all right. Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. They're right, he thought. I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot. Oh no, what's a clot? Does anyone know what a clot is? Oh, well, there's lots of meanings for the word clot. But one of them would be kind of like, oh, I feel like such a maybe failure, or I'm not doing well. I don't feel good about myself. So that's a clot. He doesn't feel good right now. No. So he crept off the dance floor. Uh-oh. And he started walking home. He never felt so sad before. So sad and all alone. Have you ever felt sad before? Yeah, me too. What did you do to feel better? What do you think Gerald will do to feel better? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what he'll do. Will he get a hug? Will he get a smile? Let's see. Then he followed a little clearing and let's look at it. And he looked up at the sky. The moon can be so beautiful, he whispered with a sigh. Excuse me, coughed a cricket, who'd seen Gerald earlier on. But sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song. What does that mean? Oh, let's find out. Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To the sweetest music are the branches in the breeze. So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really wanted to. Oh, nice. Oh, I see some comments. Oh, I'm glad. It's awesome. Let's keep going. Type in your comments. What are you thinking about Gerald? Everything makes a song? What do you think could make a song around your home? Tapping could make a song. Come on, everybody tap. Clapping could make a song. What else? Snapping could make a song. Here, let's read more. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Oh, wow. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying, his tail swishing around. Come on, everybody, swish your tail. All right, no sitting during story time. Let's get up and move. Oh, look at Gerald. He threw his legs out sideways and swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt in the air. Okay, your turn. Let me see your legs go out. Then swing them everywhere. Now do your somersault and leap in the air. Good job. Gerald felt so wonderful. Let's see. There he goes. His mouth was open wide. I'm dancing. Yes, I'm dancing. I'm dancing, Gerald cried. I hope you're dancing. Okay, are you dancing too? Then one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream. Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen." All right, look at Gerald. Are you guys dancing? Go ahead, chat that in. If you're dancing, I want to know about it. What dances are you doing in your home? How'd you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how. But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. Okay, everyone, let's practice giving a bow. Good job. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. We all can dance, he said, when we find music that we love. The end. Okay. And I also should have made sure this is a Scholastic book. And so I was able to read this book with permission from Scholastic. And this video will be up until June 30th, 2020. And then I'll delete it for Scholastic. All right. So how was the story? So, children, you can take a little break. And this is the way we should do stories. Stories that have music and movement, also break times. Very young children have to chew on books and eat on them and learn how to turn the pages and move with them. Sometimes, with really young children, I grab a book and I give them a book to chew on and play with. As I read, they read. So, families, we're talking today about shared book reading. Can you share a book with a child? And shared book reading is not your traditional sitting down and the adult taking control. Shared book reading is all about the child taking control. It involves lots of movement and dancing and clapping. So you could also do strategies if you want your child to move and do great movements while book reading, like clap every time you hear a s sound, or stomp every time you see a particular letter. Those are some great ways to get appropriate movements during book reading. Please go ahead. I see your comments. So chat in with me and tell me your questions, families. What are your questions for book reading, comprehension with children, all ages? Remember, I've worked with infants, toddlers, preschool. I've taught sixth grade, I've taught eighth grade, I've taught ninth grade. So I have a lot of experience in being able to work at all different age levels. Okay. And so book reading should be this great experience. If you have trouble with actually yourself and you're like, well, I have poor reading skills, there's no worry. You can tell a story to your child with a beginning, a middle, and an end. Children can play with materials as they read books. So one thing that I used to use as a therapist for children who had dyslexia is for each part of a story, I would have a different color block. And then I would say, now, okay, so the beginning of the story would be a yellow block. And then I would ask the child questions after I finished the first part of the story. Then the middle part of the story would signal the red block. So that would be maybe the middle, which has a climax in it. Then the end of a story, oh, well, this is a little shorter, but I have a blue block. So the blue block would signal the end of a story. And then that movement, that visual, can help children to remember the different parts of a story. Another idea to get children moving as they're listening is drawing. So as you're drawing, like I did here for this story, a child would be drawing some imagery. If they're drawing imagery, you would be reading the book and not necessarily showing them the pictures until after you see some of their drawing. Then what that does is it helps children to develop visual memory. And that visual memory is the heart of comprehension skills. That is comprehension, to imagine what you think is happening and to also think about what could happen if you were the character or what you would do. Remember to also ask children comprehension questions like I did, like predictions. What do you think will happen? Or what if you were Gerald? What would you do? Have you solved problems? How would you change the ending? So if you have children right now that have heard the story, maybe you can ask them, how would you change the ending? Would you do anything different? And that's a great way to continue a story going. What would you do? Oh, some of you said the same. Some of you said, oh, wait, I don't know if that was a good thing to do. Some people said they don't know. They might have stayed at the party. Some people, right? So Gerald had left the party. They would have stayed. They may have gotten a partner. That develops a creativity for a child to write their own story. Another idea is for a child to draw the next parts of the story. So what do they think they're going to have this happen after Gerald figured out how to dance? Does he have a dance party? Does he give dance lessons? How much does he charge? Math can be put into book reading. So just because we're reading a story about Gerald doesn't mean we can't say, well, how much would Gerald charge for lessons? How long would each lesson be? How many animals do you remember the names of the animals? Which ones do you think might come and get a lesson? How would he schedule it? What days of the week? So you can take one story and then make a lesson for the whole day or even the whole week just by reading one story. Let me think another question that comes up. Let's see, reading challenges. So some children with dyslexia, it can be it can be very difficult to read and then also answer comprehension questions. So a great thing to do is maybe even for an older child, read to them. Reading to them frees them up to get stronger comprehension. Sometimes children can't do both at the same time. So they can read, but they can't comprehend. Anyone had that issue? Go ahead and chat with me if you've had that issue. Tell me if you had that happen with your child. So think about that. Also, books on tape are great. You can't find books on tape? Well, you can look at your library, and then often they'll have ebooks that are audiobooks, and you'll be able to listen to them on an audio device. Another old school idea is to take an audio tape recorder and read into the tape recorder on your phone. It's a simple way to do it. And then have a child listen back. Another idea, if a child is having a hard time with reading and then comprehending to answer questions, have them read, tape them on your phone, pause after a few pages, and have them listen to themselves back. As they listen to themselves, they can hear more of the comprehension piece that you're trying to, instill in them or get them to answer questions. So I hope those ideas are helpful for you. And definitely type in the chat if you like them. I see one person typed in awesome, so thank you. That's encouraging. And keep typing in and giving me more comments. Now, I think, kids, did you get your snack? Did you get a rest? Remember, reading especially for young children, is about 3 to 5 minutes for a reading. We're not going to read for 45 minutes. Only older children can read for that length of time. So maybe a high schooler would be able to read for 45 minutes before they took a break. So keep rule of thumb. Young children that are preschool and kindergarten can read consecutively for about 3, maybe 5 minutes. Children, as they get to 3rd, 4th grade, they can read for about 10, 12 minutes, right? Then as we get more towards that older elementary, as we're talking about 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, they can do sustained reading for about half hour before they need a break. And high schoolers, they can read for about 45 minutes before they need the break. It's up to the parents to decide, hey, this is your break time. Set a timer of 5 minutes and decide how long that break is. 5-minute break is awesome. Okay, so our little ones have had their break and we're going to read another story. And this time, oh man, this story is all about managing disappointment and dealing with frustration. Who's dealing with that right now? Oh my gosh, is anyone here feeling disappointed or frustrated or getting angry or upset? Oh, are any of our friends hitting or biting or pushing? Well, guess what? So is my friend Tucker the turtle. Tucker the turtle also gets really upset and hits and bites and pushes his friends. Yeah, there he is. Oh no, Tucker. Well, let's read about Tucker and how Tucker learned how to do something new instead of pushing his friends. You ready? You ready, Tucker? Okay, let's go. He'll come back. He's going to sit and listen. Everybody get their spot. All right. Tucker the turtle takes time to tuck and think. This is a scripted story, and this story is by Rochelle Linty from the University of South Florida. This story is free, and I'm actually going to share after our Facebook Live in the comments where you can download this story for free. It is one of our favorite stories for little kids on how to manage their emotions and behavior. You ready? Right. We said it's about anger. We said it's about managing disappointment. Boy, that's a big word. What do you think Tucker's going to learn? What do you think Tucker's going to do? Oh, I do see balloons. I do see colors. You're good at this. Here, let's open it up and find out. All right. Tucker is a terrific turtle. He likes to play with his friends at Wet Lake School. Oh, yeah, some of you sometimes go to school? I know you're not going now. I know. Many of us are at home. Oh, yeah, school is fun. Oh, is that your teacher's name? Oh, my name's Miss Angela. Maybe we know each other. All right, let's read more. But sometimes things happen that can make Tucker really mad. Oh, is that your, oh, look at Tucker's mad face. Was that your mad face? Here's mine. Those are some good math faces. Let's see. When Tucker got mad, he used to hit, kick, or yell at his friends. Oh, yeah. I know. Yes, some of my friends have done that too. His friends would get mad or upset when he hit, kicked, or yelled at them. Right, I would get upset too. I know, time out. I heard about that. Yes. What do you think they're going to do next? Maybe. Let's find out. Tucker now knows a new way to think like a turtle when he gets mad. Ouch! Huh. What do you think it is to think like a turtle? Those are some good, yeah, those are good guesses. Let's see. First, he can stop, keep his hands and body in yelling to himself. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Did we skip one? Yeah, that was the second one. Making sure we got all the steps. So first step is to recognize you're mad. Second step is stop. What do you think the third step will be? Maybe. Let's find out. He can tuck inside his shell, and he can take 3 deep breaths to calm down. All right, everyone. Oh, look how he's doing this. Let's see. Let's look at Tucker tuck inside his shell. Come on, everybody. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. Here, let me get my hand in here. There we go. There's Tucker. Come on, Tucker. Could you show us how you tuck inside your shell? Oh, where'd he go? Come on, can you tuck inside your shell? Let's hide and tuck inside. And take 3 deep breaths. Come on, everyone. Let's do it together. 1. 2. 3. Did you take 3 deep breaths? You want to do it again? Okay. 1. 2. 3. Good job. Then Tucker, he comes out his shell. Let's read some more. So after he's taken those 3 deep breaths, Tucker can then think of a solution or a way to make it all better. Well, what are some solutions if you're mad? Well, those are good ones. Yeah, solutions are you could, if you wanted to play with the same toy, you could play together. Is that a good solution? Or, oh, that's not, okay, let's get some more. Or you could use a timer and take turns. Oh, that's a good solution. You could ask for help from someone in your family. That's a good solution. So there's lots of, what else is a good solution? Oh, you could walk away. You could just walk away and say, I'm just going to just be my mind. That could be a solution. Or you could ask someone how to make them feel better. What would make them happy? Is that a good solution? Oh, you like that one. You could tell them to please stop. Oh, come on, friends. You know how to say please stop. Please. That's the sign for please. And then stop. Come on, everybody. This we can do it with our bodies. Did you know you could talk with your body? Come on, please stop. You could also ask for help. Did you know you could ask for help with your body? This is the help sign. Oh, do it again? Okay, come on. 1, 2, 3. Help me. You guys are good at this. You could talk with your mouth, but you could also talk with your body. Let's find out more. Let's see, what do you think happened when Tucker did this? Which solution do you think he tried? How do you think it worked out? Let's see. Tucker's friends were happy when he plays nicely and keeps his body to himself. Friends also like it when Tucker uses nice words or has a teacher or family help him when he's upset. The end. How'd you like that? Come on, everybody, sing with me. Thank you for my story. Thank you for my story. Oh, come on, sing with me. Did you like it? Thank you for my story. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Thank you for my story. Thank you for my story. Oh, all my books and blocks are all falling. Oh, there's Tucker. Oh, he was so excited that you came to see us today. Yeah, you're going to give him a wave? Oh, bye, Tucker. We'll see you later. Now, everybody has to remember the Tucker turtle technique. We'll talk about it again if you come back next week. All right, bye, friends. Now, our children may have left, but parents and family members, we still have some time. I'm going to hang around for a little bit to answer your questions. Questions about how do you help with reading, comprehension, and to support children who just don't want to read or do e-learning. Now, we said, if you missed it earlier, we said for young children, they have to experience reading with their entire bodies. I talked about the 5 P's when it comes to reading. So 1, get physical. Make sure that reading is a physical activity where they clap when they see a letter or they stomp when they hear a sound. Reading doesn't have to be sitting still. For very young children, well, they love to chew on books just as much as they love to read books. And that's great for shared book reading. So young children have to learn book reading skills, and those include turning pages, manipulating books, and exploring books. Yeah, I know. Hardcover books are best for young children under the age of 3. Also, when you're reading a book, besides letting children move or lay down or snuggle or hop or jump, realize that children need breaks in between. Make sure you give time for pause, where you'll read for a page or two, especially for really young children, and then maybe they'll hop or jump or get up. And then they may want to read again. So lots of pausing. For older children, you may pause to ask comprehension questions about what they're noticing about the story and do a back and forth discussion. older children make predictions. So yes, make sure that you're making predictions of what you think may happen in a story. So how do you think the story will end? Or what do you think will happen after the story is over? What happened to Gerald? What happened to Tucker? Continue story reading with drawing, writing a letter to the characters in the story. Yeah, have your kids write a letter to Gerald or write a letter to Tucker or draw a picture for them or actually see how they would be in the story. Point out new words. So there were some new words like prance within the Giraffes Can't Dance story. So you want to point out what those words mean and make a connection from old words to new words. Well, prance, that's just another way for moving. You know how to move, right? Connect actions with the words. So prance, and then actually do the action, helps really young children to comprehend the new word. And personalize the story. Put them in the story. Talk about how, they would respond to the same situation. For children who don't, they're like, oh, I can't find the right story for me, then you could read in so many different ways. You can read directions, right? You can read what's on a crayon. You could read what's on the glue. You could read what's on the box. There are letters and there are numbers everywhere you look. So you don't always have to have a book to read. Words are everywhere. They can read their shirt. They can read the washing instructions or the tag in their shirt. They can read anything. So if children are reluctant to read books, look and see in the environment and see what they can read. Comic books, yeah, I know the content may not be great, but if that's what they're interested in, first you want to capture their interest, harness that, and then use that to develop reading skills. What's another question that I get? Spelling. Sometimes there's real questions about spelling. So first we do invented spelling, where children spell just based off how words sound, and then looking up the correct spellings. You can also we talked about using toys to help facilitate reading. So I also have put letters or words on blocks to help children too. So I would just tape them here, and then I would make words as children stacked blocks. That's another interactive way to support reading and language development. Oh, and yes, reading and language, they go together like ham and cheese. So don't forget telling your child a story, making up a story, saying something about, what happened when they went to the store, or what happened when they were at home, or talking about their favorite story that they watched on TV and then making their own storyline. Oh yeah, don't forget that if your child loves YouTube videos or they love stories that are on TV, those have scripts. And you could ask them to think about what script they would make for their own story. That helps them to get interested in writing, reading, and talking. If they have a character that's having a party, talk about how to make your own party. Who would you invite? What would we need? How would we do it? Will we do it on Zoom? Will we do it online? Will we use Facebook? So those are great ways to get children engaged in reading and writing. Now I'm looking to see if there's any comments. All right, type in your comments or questions for me. Don't forget, I work with children who were typically developing, those with dyslexia. So I have a lot of information just about how to help make good readers. The first way to make good readers is to read yourself. Oh, a lot of times we stop reading to middle school children. As a teacher, I would read to high schoolers. I would just take a little bit of my learning time and read a different story every few days out of a week. So don't forget, older children need story time. Often they are lacking in that time. Story time is a shared time. It's all about relationships. And even if children don't like stories yet, they love you. So making that connection is going to direct them to reading. So connect, then direct. Well, we have about 5 minutes left before our Facebook Live ends for today. We're going to come back and I'll make sure that I'll share other story times. And please share topics with me. Message me at Simple Solutions. Put it in the chat box here in the comments. I will, answer your questions, give you support. Oh yeah, we're e-learning at my house. So tell me your reading challenges. Tell me your e-learning challenges. Tell me what's going on at home. Also, take a minute if you enjoyed this time and like my page. Also, share. I'll try to share strategies and resources daily. So feel free to share those. And do me a favor. If you like this time, talk about it. So definitely give me a rating or give me a recommendation if you enjoyed it. Okay. All right. I enjoyed seeing you all. It was great to spend time with you. So let me just share another couple of tips before I finish out. For good comprehension skills, sensory webs. So as you're reading a story, make sure that you talk to a child and use sensory words. Ask them, after you read a couple of pages, ask them, what do you smell? And they were like, well, there was nothing about smell in the story with Jared, right? But there was. If he was out and he was in the jungle, what do you think he smelled? What if he was in the jungle? What did he feel on his skin? Probably heat. Okay, so those are great ways to build comprehension skills in children, is to have them use their imagination skills to actually imagine the senses. Go through every single sense. So we have smell, touch, vision, hearing. Okay, so go through those 5 senses and think about what it is that children would experience in the story. If they had an ice cream cone, would it be sticky and melting? If they were in a cold area, what would they feel on their skin? The wind hitting them? So sensory is a great way to help foster comprehension skills. And those were some of the things that I did with children who struggled with comprehension. Another idea, we have about 3 minutes, is that when children are struggling with remembering letters, so there's a couple of things with reading. There's sounding out, right? So using phonemic awareness skills, sit, right? Blending of letters and blending of sounds, okay? So when you start reading with a child, it's actually easier to blend what we call streams. So streams are sounds that keep going, like is a stream. Or what's another one? They're also short sounds. They're a little harder to blend. So that's a puff. And puff sounds are actually harder when you begin reading. Like, have you ever worked with a child and you said, cat, cat, and then you try to get them to blend it to say cat. Those puff, anything that's a puff, are hard blenders. But anything that's a stream, like shh is a blend, are easier for early readers to blend those sounds together. So if you have some books that actually have more stream sounds, you'll actually find your child will be easier for them to actually string those along together to be a good reader. So books with lots of s and sh are good blenders. So that's one thing. Children have to be really good at blending sounds together to be good readers. Before they're actually blending, just hearing sounds, talking to them actually is a foundation for those skills. Another skill is to be able to remember what letters look like. So a good way to create a visual memory for letters is to actually have children put letters and then put, things like sandpaper or bumps, some kind of bubble wrap or something, and have children close their eyes and then touch with their finger and guess the letter. So if I had a C and they were touching it, then they would have to guess that's the letter C. If they guess that's the letter C, they have a good visual memory for letters, which also supports and helps reading and spelling. So, people are like, wait, I want to know more about this. I want to see how that looks. Don't forget to join me again for another Facebook Live. We're going to do another one next Friday at the same time. We might even we're kind of work on this, to have an English and a Spanish story. So tell more people. I'll send out a flyer for this. And thank you everyone for joining me today. It's 11:45, and I'll hang out here just in case you have questions. But please do me a favor. Go ahead and like my page. Go ahead and share it. I'll have the link up so you'll be able to share this link if someone missed it for today. Give me a good recommendation. Did you like this time together? So go ahead and put that in the comments. Go ahead and like the page, share it. I do lots of things for educators, for parents. I am a parent. I'm a consultant, and I work with lots of schools and programs. So if you have questions, I am a resource for you during this time. Feel free to message me, and we're friends forever. So please stay in touch. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm looking to see if there's any more comments. I'll hang around for another minute before I stop the live stream. So feel free to see it. I don't see any questions. So hopefully you'll join me again next time. Definitely give me some feedback. I enjoyed reading for you today, and hope you join me again. Thank you.